Workflows are key to your business. It's key to efficiency. It's key to making sure you don't burn out. And since, again, it's the beginning of the year, it's the perfect time to set yourself up for the perfect business success by streamlining all your processes. So this week, we are diving into the why, the what, the how behind workflows in general. What are they? Why they're critical for your business, and how to really just start building the workflows that are going to stick. So, as always, I like to make sure we talk about the whys, the whats, and of course, the hows, so you understand how to do what you're doing and you can walk away with actionable items after listening to this video. And over the next month, we're going to be breaking down specifics about all the different aspects that you really have to do when it comes to your photography business, whether it's inquiries and booking, whether it's onboarding your clients, whether it's the ever daunting post-production that everybody has their different way of doing. You need a workflow. Workflows are going to make it so much easier. But today, it's all about really understanding the purpose of workflows and how to really start giving you a really simple system to feel organized and confident in this new year of 2025. So let's get started. I am Andreka from Andreka Photography and Coaching, here again on this lovely day to chat about workflows. This is going to be the first of our four-part series. I want to help photographers forget about all the other photo stuff, that you love. And let's talk about systemizing your business. Let's talk about what it's going to take to make sure you love your business and love photography and can make money at it and have fun. People might be running away from the idea of the business, but once you really embrace all the fun that can be had from the business side, your business is nowhere going to grow. Here we are again, this Tuesday, talking about streamlining your business, how to streamline your workflow and how to organize your year for business efficiency. And as photographers, we wear many, many hats. Creatives, marketers, editors, social media gurus, sales, psychologists, kindergarten teachers, you name it. And without a streamlined workflow, it's going to be super easy to feel overwhelmed and fall into this trap of the endless to-do lists with little action. So by the end of this session, you're going to have some actionable steps to start creating workflows that are going to stick and set you up for success this year. Let's get started. The three main topics we're going to talk about today: the whys. Why are workflows so important? 2, common mistakes photographers make when they're looking at workflows and setting up these workflows. And 3, where to begin, right? So let's talk first why workflows matter in your photography business. Number 1, consistency. Consistency is key, and consistent workflows are going to ensure your clients have the same high quality experience every time. They're going to make sure that you, as the photographer, are executing everything you need to do at the right time. The more consistent you are, the more your workflows are consistent, the better your business is going to be. So how do you do this? How do you implement this consistency? Map out your client journey ahead of time. Identify those key touch points that should always be consistent, like your inquiry response, your follow-up emails. What does it look like? So first, map all that out. You can use email templates for quick professional communication always. Write one email, save it somewhere. Number 2, save time and energy. Workflows are going to save you so much time and so much energy and so much stress. By a streamlined workflow, this is going to reduce that decision fatigue, allowing you to focus on that creative work. Like I just said, you're going to constantly have these to-do lists, and you can go down a rabbit hole of these to-do lists. But when you have a workflow in place, it's going to take you back. It's going to get you out of your decision, what do I work on next? And you go, I did A, now I do B, now I do C. Wash, rinse, repeat. Then you keep going again, right? When you go off circuit, it brings you right back. And this is going to save you that time and energy. A good way to do this is time block. Use specific days for certain repetitive tasks, like edit on one day, blog on another day, client consultations at certain times of the day, check your emails at certain times of the day. You want to batch those similar tasks to stay in that productive flow. If you know certain things are going to take you longer, make sure you block that longer period of time. Be realistic about it. Number 3, workflows are they're going to boost client confidence. Your clients might not even know that you have this workflow, but when they feel reassured that your process is smooth, because your process is going to be smooth, This is going to make them feel good. This is going to translate to more trust, more referrals. Her online gallery made so much sense and I knew what I was getting. I got this email ahead of time saying, I know my stuff is going to be delivered at a certain point. It helps with that communication with your client. Right? So a good way to do this is to outline your workflow for clients during the consultations to showcase your professionalism, right? When you're talking to your client, tell them ahead of time what their process is going to be like. You already know because you have the workflow in your head. So what does that really look like as you move? Use a client guide to walk them through your process visually. That really helps a lot as well. Scalability. Workflows lead to building and growth. A well-organized system helps you take on more clients without feeling overwhelmed. You can plug those clients into the system, which means your business are going to grow. So how do you do this? Document those workflows so you can then train assistants to keep them on the same task or outsource those same things. So once you have your workflows memorized in your head, put them on a piece of paper. Then you can share them with any of your assistants or outsourcing, and then that gives you, again, more time to photograph, more time to book clients, more time to grow your business. Workflows are going to prevent burnout. Having systems in place are really going to reduce the stress and avoid those last minute scrambling, right? Because again, you have a roadmap. You might start to get stressed about where you're going, what you're doing, but then you just take a deep breath. You look at what you did. I did step A, now I do step B. Bam, 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 done, 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 right? You want to make sure as you're doing this to keep that burnout at bay, if you will. Schedule routine check-ins. So ensure your workflows are still serving you, ensure they're still working, ensure that sometimes, you'll create a workflow and it has emails in it, for example. And after a while, you realize your email box is way too big and you don't need half those emails. So revisit your workflow and take out maybe some of those email reminders that you may not need. As always, it's a work in progress, but the more you get it, the more streamlined it's going to be, right? You want to make sure that you're constantly reevaluating as your business is changing and hopefully as your business is growing as well. So now, number 2, what are the common mistakes photographers make when they're building or looking at workflows? Overcomplicating things, overcomplicating the process. An overly complex workflow can lead to even more feelings of overwhelmness and abandon, and then they're going to end up abandoning the workflow, right? So let's say you look at a task that you have and you're like, okay, well, I need to do this. Okay, you know what a really great example is? When you put on your workflow for, say, your steps that you're going to do before you're shooting a wedding. And one of them is charge your batteries. Now, some people might need that as an actual step in their workflow, but most likely, hopefully, if you've been in the industry long enough, you're going to automatically just know that, right? So you, instead of having charge batteries, clean cards, download this, clean this lens, pack your bag, you can just say prep equipment, right? So this is how you would simplify these workflows. You don't want your workflows more than 7 steps, right? So keep it between 5 and 7, very clear per process, or else it's going to start to feel overwhelming and you're going to end up with a million emails in your box. So start with that checklist before turning into a more formalized workflow. Look at what you need. Again, you might sit there and sometimes when you're first making a workflow, you might have a tendency to want to be like, okay, well, I want this and this and this. And you put all the things on and it feels so good because you see how much you do. And then you go, wait, that's way too many things. Again, yeah, good, pat on the back, you charge your batteries. That can go under prep equipment. Great, you packed your camera bag, prep equipment. So think about simplifying things as you do. Don't overcomplicate. Number 2, failure to document. If your workflows are not written down, steps are going to be missed. And then all of a sudden the results can vary, right? One client's going to get this, another client's going to get this. But if you have a very complicated system and you don't write it down, you're going to forget to do things. Make sure you write them all down. This also helps, again, when we talked about scalability, getting your assistants to help you, getting your outsourcing. The more clear it is, the better. It's really great when you use these workflows to use a project management tool, whether it's ClickUp, which I personally love, or Trello, which I've used before and I also like. Asana's another great one, or create your own using like a Word doc or Excel sheet or whatever works for you. But make a checklist that works for you, that as one thing gets done, you move to the next. Create templates. Templates are a great thing for any of your repeated processes, right? Especially again when you're using these systems. Number 3, things that people do wrong. Neglecting flexibility. Every client is going to be different, and a super rigid workflow can cause frustration. So know that you want to build in little optional steps, right? So workflows are custom to different clients. Some clients, for example, might come to you if you're doing a workflow for inquiries. Some clients might see you on the street and say, hey, I want to book you. How do you put them into your workflow when your workflow starts step one, answer an email on my website? You got to have a place for that, right? So what do? Send them a form, send them something, manually enter them in. Make sure you have space in your workflows for flexibility and for those custom needs that you might need with different clients and different editings, right? This works with any of the processes and workflows we're going to talk about in the next few weeks. Use feedbacks from clients. This is a great way to know about the flexibility of how things really work. Ask clients that you know and trust and see how they felt with the system, right? That's a great way to then adapt your workflow over time. This is a big one. Procrastination, delaying workflows and creating inefficiencies, especially during the busy season. So for me personally, it's January. My busy season isn't going to start for 3-4 months. This is the time when I establish workflows. In fact, one of my big to-do lists is to establish a better workflow for my album delivery system. This is one of the things I'm working on. Winter time, for me, slow time, is when I start implementing my workflows, because once season hits, I don't have time. And once season hits, I also don't have time to tweak it as easily because I'm too busy just keeping up with client demands. This is your time. Don't procrastinate. Start building in workflows now, because now if you find that they don't work, you can tweak them before the season starts, right? So a good way to do this is to schedule dedicated workflow days. So maybe Friday mornings are workflow building days. Schedule it into your calendar as almost like a date for yourself. And number 5, the 5th mistake and common mistake photographers tend to make is ignoring those automation opportunities, right? Automation can definitely save you time and reduce your human error. So using tools like Dubsado, which is what I use, Honeybook, Shootproof, I mean, there's so many different ones out there that will automatically send emails and invoices and reminders, really help your workflows, especially when it comes to client interfacing and client information, right? You don't want to have to sit there and remember in your head, their invoice was due 30 days from now, but then what if they didn't pay and I need to send a 2-week reminder, but then you have 20 clients that you're trying to do this to. Automated emails are really great for this. It doesn't mean that they have to be impersonal. It doesn't mean that every email is automated, just some. Let's talk about where to begin. So how to create your first workflows, right? What to do, what to think of, because there's a lot more hats, as I said earlier, that we wear, but those are 3 big ones to start your mind going in that direction. Group tasks into different categories: communication, editing, client management. This will really help you clarify where things could be a little bit more efficient, where you could automate. Then number 2, set your clear goals, right? Why does this matter? Goals are going to give you your roadmap for building your workflows. And this is going to align with what you want your business to do, looking at your business objectives, right? So for example, you want to define your outcomes for each workflow, such as respond to inquiries within 24 hours, complete editing in 2 weeks, book clients, give clients a great client experience. What does it look like for you to complete your editing in 2 weeks? If that's your goal, that's your roadmap, use it, right? Use what they say for SMART, S-M-A-R-T. Be specific, make it measurable, make it achievable, make it relevant, and make it time-bound. These are the goals you want to set when you're creating your workflows, right? Specifically what you're doing. Measuring exactly what your goal is going to be. I am going to edit so many photos or so many weddings or so many portraits in a certain amount of time, time-bound, relevant, and achievable. So you want to make sure it's current for what you're doing and where you are in your business. Next tip, you want to choose the tools that work for you, right? Choosing those right tools, and there are so many tools out there, are really going to make it easier to organize your workflows and help you stick to them. Look at things like Trello, ClickUp, Asana, right? Those are those great, really virtual to-do lists to help you click, check, check, check. And there's also this kind of endorphin high that you get when you do those check marks off of those to-dos, right? And move you down the list. And then look at things like Dubsado, Honeybook, ShootQ. And these are those automation tools that are really going to help you stay on track. So you want to use these two different types of tools to help you get your workflows going, and it is going to free your mind from so many things, right? You can try free trials with these programs before really committing. Dubsado, ClickUp I might too, but Dubsado I definitely have a discount code for. Shootproof is also great. They're great to use for their online gallery and have some automation set up with that as well. Number 4, start small, right? You don't have to do every big, huge, gigantic workflow at one time. Try to build your workflows at once can be super overwhelming. So if you're trying to build everything all at once and go, I'm just going to sit and do everything, you're going to get exhausted, tired, burned out, and you're going to start hating workflows when workflows are super awesome once you start to embrace them. Focus on one workflow. Like, first look at client inquiries. That's a great place to start, which is actually where we're going to start next week diving into. You want to book a client. So what is your workflow to give your client a smooth, happy interaction with getting from first inquiry to signing on the dotted line? What's going to happen between step 1 and step 5? That's what you've got to figure out, and what makes it easy for you. Where does an automated email come in? Where does a personalized email come in? Where does a checklist come in, or a questionnaire, or the proposal, or the invoices? These are the things to think about. And set realistic deadline for completing this workflow, right? So then you can really stay on task. Having that to-do list is so key. And also just looking at your first step to the second step to the third step. Step 1, audit, look at it. Step 2, set a goal. You got this, right? Everything we just talked about is going to help you get to where you want to be. And then finally, the last thing you got to do, test, adjust, be flexible, right? Workflows need to be super practical and super adaptable. So it's one thing to put it on a piece of paper and go, this is going to work great. It's another when you go, oh, I don't need to receive so many emails, or, ooh, they don't need to receive so many emails, or maybe I can take this email and that email and put it into once. So test it. Run your new workflows with a current client, or test it on internally with someone you know, or test it with a friend or family, or do it yourself, and then tweak as needed. Again, this is what's so good to do right now during the slow season until your busy season happens. Ultimately, you want to ask for feedback, right? We all have those clients that we love that have already worked with us and love us. They're really great people, especially if they're return clients. If you have, say, a family that you've been doing their family portraits for years and years and years, they are great people to test workflows on because they already know you, they already trust you, they already love your photos, they want to see you succeed. And this is their way of being able to help you succeed. Let them help you, right? So that is the beginning. To wrap this up, workflows, I love them. They're so, so important. They're not just about saving time. They're really about creating that business that you can manage confidently and be able to sustain it and be able to grow it, all without really getting burned out and starting to not like your stuff, right? It does get kind of fun to talk about and get your workflows going because you really feel like you're working hard while hardly working, as they say. Starting small and focusing on that process that matters most to you, and it's going to set you up for success all year long. Remember that workflows are living systems. They're always going to be shifting and changing and growing as your business does as well. So this series that we're going to be talking about for the next few weeks is going to really guide you through building these different workflows at every stage of your photography business. Thank you so much, friends. Have a great day.